Lily. We're going to do lesson 3 today, and I think we have some people that's going to join us in learning how to crochet at a slow pace. So welcome any of you folks out there that would like to learn how to crochet. Now in today's lesson, we're going to review lesson 2 a little bit, and then we're going to make a small facecloth or dishcloth or washcloth, whatever you want to call it. We're just going to make something from single crochet that you learned how to do in lesson 2. Now for this one, we're just going to stick with the cotton yarn, and this is Mainstay, and it's a Walmart brand, and I've actually not used it, but it feels good. I think it'll be good yarn for what we're using it for. We're using a medium weight, number 4. And then over here, it tells us what hook size, which is like we had the other day. It is a 5mm hook, which is a USH hook. And that's what this one is. This one is by Clover, and I've used some different ones. They all work great. My preference, I guess, is Clover, but any kind of hook you have, just use it, and as you go along, you'll decide what works best with your hand. Now, this just came out of the middle here, and we're going to do a slip knot first, and we won't spend so much time on that today, but we will review. So I'm just going to put it across my hand with the tail of this on this side, across my hand, the working yarn over here. So if you want to do the method that I use, just go around these 2 fingers. Now, if you want to really do it like a stitch, you can just do like this, come up and just pull it, and that works. But to tell you the truth, most of the time when I do my slip knots, I just take my yarn, and like I told you before in the last lesson, I just take the yarn, the working yarn over the top, go in behind it, and then just pick that up right from the center. And you pull both sides of your yarn to tighten it up. And of course the tail's going to go over here, and we're going to put the yarn through our fingers, round our little finger, across these, and across your pointer finger. All right, to review how to chain, this loop does not count. So we go under our yarn, we hook the yarn and pull it through the loop, and that makes your first chain stitch. Okay, then just go under your yarn, and that's called yarning over, as we said in the last lesson. Pull it through, and there's 2 stitches. Keep it loose. You're a lot better to have this a little looser than too tight. Okay, go under, yarn, which is yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and let's count and see how many we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Now let's do 15. We'll just make a small item for this first project, and like I said, you can use it as a little facial cloth. So let's do 10 more. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you see how I'm just kind of holding my chain, and then I move up a little bit. Okay, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And let's just go back and count. Okay, I'm just going to take this off to make it easier. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, I've actually got 15. I'll take that one back off. Let me make sure. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So it's 15. Now, let's say our pattern says we need like a total of 15 stitches when we start working our pattern. You need to chain one more so that when you start doing your single crochet, your height will be the same, and that way that'll help make the ends more even. So if you look here, we do not count this one on the hook. We're not going to count that extra one that we put right there. You see it? Okay. Then we're going to go into the next one. So we're going to go into this one. Just stick your crochet hook in there, yarn over, and pull up. You have 2 stitches, loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through. And that one is your first single crochet right there, that little stitch right there. All right, let's do that again. Now, when you look, that one there, you can see that hole's there. It's got one in it. So your next one's going to be this stitch right here. See that right there? See that hole? Right in there. So stick your hook through there, yarn over, pull through and pull up, yarn over, and pull through both loops. You've made your second single crochet. And we're just going to put one in each of our chain stitches. So let's continue. Poke your hook right through there, yarn over, and pull up. Pull through both loops. All right, and you can see now we have 1, 2, 3. And if you'll notice, your single crochets on top, it's going to be like a little V there, you see? So there's 3 of them. And that was that stitch that we're not counting there that's on the side. Okay, let's continue. Lily, you doing okay? Everybody else, you doing okay? All right, sounds good. All right, let's go through the next one. Yarn over, pull through, pull up, yarn over, and pull through both. And we'll just continue to do that. So everybody just take your time, and I'll meet you at the end. I'll just crochet along. Okay, I'm at the last stitch, and if you need to stop the video, go ahead. And we can see our knot where we had our slip stitch. We're going to take our crochet hook. We're going to go right through that little middle part of that last stitch. So just push your crochet hook through, yarn over, and come through, pull up, yarn over, and pull through. Alrighty, so there is our first row of single crochets. Now, I'm going to count. It's important, I think, for you to count to start with. Now, if you end up getting done and you've got a couple of stitches that's not just right, just leave it. It'll be fine. As you learn, you can get as accurate with it as you need to as you go along. At first, we all, and I still, make mistakes. So don't worry if you make a mistake. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So that should be your 15 stitches. All right. Now we're going to learn how to go to the next row. All right. When you go to the next row, just get your yarn situated, get comfortable. We're going to chain 1 stitch. Just chain, 1 chain. Now, to turn over, and I think I said this in lesson 2 video, but we may have some folks with us that didn't really see lesson 2. So in every lesson, I will try to go through the basic things, and if you are just totally a beginning crocheter, that will give you a chance to practice more. Because, you know, practice is what makes us more comfortable, and we don't have to be perfect to start with. We don't have to be perfect any time, as far as that goes. We just do always the best we can. So, here we have the first row. Just do it like a book page. Just flip it over, okay? And you've already chained 1, okay? The one on our hook does not count, right, Lily? That one doesn't count, and neither does that one that we put at the end of the row to turn. Now, let's look so we get it the right place. Okay. Right here is the one we don't count. So, you see that? You see that loop right there? We're going to put our hook right through underneath the 2 loops, the top. Okay, can you see that? All right, then yarn over and pull through. You have your 2 loops. Take your crochet hook, yarn over, and pull through. And then that's your first single crochet of your next row. All right, let's look again. Now, all right, you see how this one is already done. So our next one will be right there. We're going to put the crochet hook right underneath both of the loops. Yarn over and pull through and pull up. Just that way, that helps you to keep it the right height. Yarn over and pull through both loops. And we just continue doing that. Look for our next one. See, that one's done. And so the one that we need is this one right there. Okay, and I hope that this is showing up good to where you can see the stitches. One thing that I would recommend is as you start, just use a light colored yarn and don't get anything but kind of a standard until you learn how, because some of the other kinds are a lot more difficult to use. And we need to be able to see our stitches as we start learning how. So now let's just continue. Go under the 2 loops, just the 2. There's actually 3 parts to your stitch, but we'll talk about that later. We're only going to do as we, need to learn things. We're not going to try to learn everything at one time. And you can kind of twist this a little bit so that you can see your stitches better, because if you look from this side, this is the back side. As we talked about, it's bumpier. And then when you turn it over, on the other side, there's just a different look. It's kind of got a smoother look, and you see those stitches. So you rotate that just a little bit so that you can see both of the loops right there, right there. Okay, and don't forget, or I do, you don't have to, as I've told you, whatever's comfortable works the best. And I mean, like some people even, I know last night I was watching a girl and she was crocheting like this and she makes beautiful things. But I just always have held it in my hand as I showed you. All right, we're going to go under these next two. And let's just crochet together again. And if I get done before you do, just stop your video. But I'm going very slowly, so that nobody is rushed. All right, go ahead and let's crochet. Okay, I'm to the end of the row except for that last stitch. Now, that last stitch, sometimes it's hard to see. So you kind of twist the end towards you a little bit. You see the loop? Let me get a needle here, a darning needle, so that I can kind of show you. You see right there? It doesn't show up as well on the where you're on the side that you're working on. But if you turn it sideways just a little bit, do you see? Right there it is, right there at the end. Okay? So, we'll put our crochet hook. And by the way, sometimes I call a crochet hook a crochet needle. And I must have done that when I was young because I can't seem to get completely away from calling it a crochet needle sometimes, but it's actually a crochet hook. All right, so you go under these two that we just looked at, yarn over, pull your yarn up, yarn over, pull through those two loops. Hey, look, guys, that is 2 rows of your single crochet. Yay, that looks great out there. Everybody looks like they're doing a great job. Now, let's get another row going. So yarn over and do 1 chain. Now remember, just like I said, the chain, just yarn over and pull through. That's it. That's all there is to a chain. Now, flip it like a book page. Okay, right. Let's see. Let me get it the right way here. All right, flip it like a book page. And now we're going to go back and do this 3rd row. All right, again, this one on the hook does not count. The one we chained to make the height does not count. And so right in here, right there, you guys, looky right there. That's where it's at. So if you'll look at this closely, there's that loop. There's the one that we're using for the height that doesn't count. And so that's really the stitch where this darning needle's at, is the one that you're going to go in. All righty? So let's do that. All right? So let's go in here, yarn over, pull through and up, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops, and we have started our 2nd row. Again, kind of rotate this where you can see those 2 loops you need to go under. Okay, right there. Again, don't forget if you need to, but I do this all the time. You sort of need to have this stabilized back here. So I always use that finger to kind of do that. And then I keep this one way pointed out. Sometimes it's got 2 or 3 loops on it. It just depends. And it'll feel, as I told you in the last one, it might feel a little awkward to start with. And you may miss a stitch once in a while. But just don't give up. Don't give up. All right, let's keep going, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, I'm at the end again. So we're going to turn that so that we can see that last stitch. So go through there, under those 2, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through those 2 loops. Now, we didn't count the last time, but let's count this time. Let's make sure we still have 15 stitches. Okay, I'll just start down here. It doesn't really matter which end you start at. All right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, you know what to do next. We need to chain 1 before we turn our work. So chain 1, flip that work over, and you're ready to continue. Okay, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to show you a piece that I worked on I guess yesterday. All right, now this is just some rows like you're doing today, and this is 15 stitches. Now, when you get to where you can fold this like that, like in a triangle, you're taking your square and you're going to an opposite corner over here. When that gets approximately a triangle, then you have a square. Now, everybody crochets a little different in tension, so the best way for you to know when you get a square is just, like I said, just fold it. And this is a good tip. Gosh, I use this all the time, you know, because I think, okay, I'm going to do a square, and this saves me from actually counting all the rows. Now, later, I will show you more about counting the rows. Let's just kind of keep it just kind of one thing at a time, I guess. Now, once we get all the rows to make this a square, it will help you if when you stop with the way we're doing this, and this is not always true, it depends on the pattern. It's going to be true for this one. When you get to where you get your square, make sure you end up on the same side as your tail. Come back to where your working yarn and the tail yarn is on the same side. Now, let me show you how to finish this. Your crochet hook, you're on, there's the last stitch. Let me just pull this out. Okay, so here we go. We're on the last one. We go through that last one there. Okay, yarn over, pull up your 2 loops, yarn over and pull through. Now, so that's our last stitch. What we want to do is we want to yarn over and pull through, which you just chain through there is what you do. Then we're going to take a pair of scissors and we're going to leave a little bit of a tail. This won't take an awful lot. Where I was showing you how to work in your tails did not record, so I'm going to show you on this piece. Now, I'm going to also show you that the yarn that we used for this square is different than this one. Now, I crochet about the same all the time, but you can see that the pink yarn is smaller. So even though both of them are 4-weight, both we used the H 5mm crochet hook, you're going to have different sizes depending on your yarn. So we'll get that out of the way. And here we just, at the very end, like when you did your last stitch, you did a chain through there. You cut your yarn, then pulled the crochet hook through and pull that tight right there. Okay, then this is the right side, so I'm going to turn this over. And we're going to take a some type of a darning needle, something that you can get your yarn through the eye of it. And to work this in, all we have to do, and like I said, I'm on the back side, you're going to just take this and you're going to work through some of those back stitches. Now, when you have a right and wrong side, as we do here, I don't want it to really come through the front part. Okay, so I'm just going to go through some of those stitches. I'm going to pull this, not real tight, just snug, because we want to leave our corner right there. All right, so I'm going to go a little bit farther. I'm going to go right through there. Then I'm going to turn in the opposite direction. And I'm going to basically go, well, I'm going to go over like 1 or 2 little stitches there and start back through and just kind of go through some of the fibers of your yarn. Okay. And we're just going to do that. Just pull it easy, you know, just so that it is snug, not really tight. Okay. So let's go just a little bit more. There, maybe, just however you want to. Then, to make sure, since this is something that you'll probably be washing, if you use it as a little face cloth, washcloth, it'll probably get some wear. So you want to make sure that you get this tail to where it doesn't come loose. Okay, and then that's enough there. So we'll just clip the end of that one. And then we're going to go down here in the corner, and we've got to work this beginning tail that we had to start with when we first did our chain. So we're just going to take that, and we're just going to just work it into the back. You know, just take your time and, you know, do as good a job as you can, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, just go through some of the fibers. Just go this way. You could go in the other direction as far as that goes, just so we get them worked in. And most people, after they go out a little ways, and you don't have to go too awful far, but if it's something that's really not going to be like this, you're going to be scrubbing with it and it'll be in the machine. But if it's something that is not used much, you don't have to do as much of this. Go back in the same direction. Okay, there we go. Okay, like that. And we'll go back just a wee bit. Let me get out here to where I'm not starting exactly at the same place as I ended up. Okay, that's enough. That's plenty. All right. Let's pull that. We'll clip that off. Now, this is softer yarn than this was. Okay, so you have your two. We have two of these here, and you can tell that they're pretty straight. And if you fold this way, there's no edges sticking out here on either side. That helps you see too that you have the sides straight. Now, later we'll put little borders around, and then that evens it up some too. But you try a couple of these and see how you get along with them, and you can use this for whatever you want to. Thank you for being with me today, and I hope that you have enjoyed working on this, and I'll get lesson 4 ready soon. See you later. Bye for now.